Hi class. In this section in your modules with your research paper, I want you to pay particular attention to module 5.2b. And it's about annotating your paper and annotating your research for your paper. So I have some PowerPoint slides here that I'm going to go over with you. And then I have this focus wheel that I want to talk about with you as well. So first of all, these PowerPoint slides are available to you, and you can print them out if you want to as well. So this is how to annotate for your research paper for literature. These slides will be a guide on how to prepare your annotations for your research paper. So choose the readings you want to use for your research. So remember, these readings are going to be based on one author. So you will use the readings to look for commonalities in the author's work. So you're going to have to go out and do some research and find what else the author wrote. So if you wanted to pick 3 poems by Edgar Allan Poe, you can do that, or 2 short stories by Edgar Allan Poe, you can do that. Or you can pick 2 short stories by Kate Chopin, and you can choose that, or you can talk about Shakespearean sonnets. Whatever you're going to do, you're going to look for work from one author, and you're going to have to find what else they've published. So you can go to the public library, or you can go to the school library to get a book, or you can find some ebooks online to find the book, the readings. So after you find the readings that you want to talk about in your research paper, you're going to look for common ideas. So think about common language in the readings, common themes, characters, social issues, and symbolism. So oftentimes authors have a certain style of writing based on their language, their themes, their types of characters, the symbolism that they look for. So in your discussion, in your paper, in your research paper, you should be talking about the common ideas that come up in the readings by the author. So after you choose your readings, highlight important passages from the readings that would support your ideas and your research. Make notes of some of the commonalities that you find. So it could be whatever that comes up for you. Make notes of your ideas. You can make notes of quotes from characters, dialogue, or descriptive passages in the text. So really, you need a place where you highlight these readings, and then you take those highlights and those ideas and you start making notes, like a notebook or some kind of area where you compile a list of notes. Your notes will be the beginning of your ideas, and they will help you sort out your thoughts about the readings. You also may consider reading the works more than once to get a better understanding of the material. So that's a really important part of doing research, is to reread what you have. So your handbook, that's rules for writers. You should have your handbook on your desk while you're writing your paper. You can take a look at the sample paper to compare your ideas to the sample paper, and you can check how to cite sources. Your handbook is a very valuable tool while you're putting together your research paper. Please note that I am going to be checking for MLA format, and that's why I have assigned rules for writers for you for this semester. Your works cited page has to look exactly like the sample works cited page in the handbook, and your paper must be formatted exactly like the page. If it's not going to get a passing grade, because 50% of your grade will be based on MLA format. So your dictionary is also a source to refer to while you're annotating your research findings. You may come across words that you've never seen, and your dictionary is a useful tool when you're trying to understand new meanings and terms. So there might be language in all of the readings that you're not familiar with. So please have a dictionary nearby and look up these words. The library website. You want to use the library website to look for articles about the topics you research. Your topics need to be supported by facts and research. The topics you choose to research will come directly from the short stories you have read or the poems you have read. So here's some examples. You can pick feminist characters in Kate Chopin's short stories, the Shakespearean sonnet and its themes, the macabre writing style of Edgar Allan Poe in poetry. Your research paper will develop a topic and be supported by a thesis sentence. So remember, these are just some suggested topics. You can come up with your own, and you would have to develop those topics into a thesis sentence. So you can do a general search in the library database. If you go to the library and just put in a general search and look for what our library database has. You can go to the individual databases such as ArtStore, Gale Literature, and EBSCOhost. So compile your ideas and your works cited. Make a file on your computer or by pen and paper and create a list of your ideas. Compile your ideas together to form your thesis. Once you do this, you are ready to write the first draft of your paper. So as you are doing your research, create like a list for your works cited page and have those with you to help you. Have fun with your research and choose an author and readings that you liked and that you can remember in the future. Remember, this is for the advancement of your learning. So that's the PowerPoint slides. And then over here, what I have is a focus wheel. So what I'd like you to do, and I just made a small version of this, so you're going to do this on a large piece of paper. In the middle here, you would write the thesis and find 12 ideas to support your thesis. So the support can be poems from the stories or short stories. I'm sorry, quotes from the short stories, from the stories or poems, quotes from research, or your own analysis. So make like a little wheel here of all your ideas, and you can do this on a sheet of paper to kind of brainstorm your thoughts and before you actually go to write your paper, and then you can go back and look and see if this is enough support. So it depends on what your topic is, whether you pick short stories or poems. Please make sure only choose one topic from my list, and only choose 2 short stories or 3 poems by one author. And that should help you put together your ideas before your first draft.